Life Audio.
Welcome to the Crosswalk Devotional. We're glad to have you listening with us. Today's topic is about scarcity versus abundance. We'll return with the devotional after a brief message from one of our sponsors.
Hi, this is Bernie Dake, one of the hosts for the Salvation Army's 15-minute weekly show, Words of Life. Have you ever experienced church hurt? Were you burned so bad that you've maybe walked away from the church entirely? If this is you, please join us on Words of Life for a series that starts in July called Raised to Stay. We'll be joined by pastor and author Natalie Runyon as she sympathizes with and encourages believers to not give up on the bride of Christ.
Every Sunday, we have people showing up with hope, and we have a choice to partner in that hope or to live in the hurt. And I want to be a hope bearer. I want to be a hope dealer. I want to be the one that's waiting with my arms open. That's why I show up.
Listen on your favorite podcast store or visit salvationarmyradio.org.
This July 4th, from Angel Studios, the force behind His Only Son and The Chosen, comes an extraordinary true story of courage and redemption. Starring Jim Caviezel, the actor renowned for his unforgettable portrayal of Jesus in The Passion, and Academy Award winner Mira Sorvino. Inspired by remarkable acts of bravery, Sound of Freedom unveils the breathtaking true events of a dangerous mission to save young innocent lives. Sound of Freedom. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Go to angel.com/freedom for tickets. Only in theaters July 4th.
Scarcity versus Abundance by Christine Perry. And the Lord said to Moses, "Has the Lord's arm been shortened? Now you shall see whether what I say will happen to you or not." Numbers 11:23. In Numbers 11, the Israelites were not only complaining, but were wailing every day for meat. They grumbled, complained, and threw a conniption because they were tired of manna and the wilderness. They wanted to go back to Egypt. Moses had it with them. He tells the Lord in Numbers 11:12-13, "Did I conceive all these people? Did I beget them, that you should say to me, 'Carry them in your bosom as a guardian carries a nursing child, to the land which you swore to their fathers'? Where am I to get meat to give to all these people? For they weep all over me, saying, 'Give us meat that we may eat.'" The Lord answered Moses in verses 16-20, "Gather to me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom you know to be the elders of the people and officers over them. Bring them to the tabernacle of meeting, that they may stand there with you. Then I will come down and talk with you there. I will take the Spirit that is upon you and will put the same upon them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with you, that you may not bear it yourself alone. Then you shall say to the people, 'Consecrate yourself for tomorrow, and you shall eat meat. For you have wept in the hearing of the Lord, saying, Who will give us meat to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt.' Therefore the Lord will give you meat, and you shall eat. You shall eat not 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, nor 10 days, nor 20 days, but for a whole month, until it comes out of your nostrils and becomes loathsome to you, because you have despised the Lord who is among you, and have wept before him, saying, 'Why did we ever come up out of Egypt?'" Moses then asks God how he will provide. He reasons that it wouldn't be enough even if they were to kill all their animals. That's when God responds with, "Has the Lord's arm been shortened? Now you shall see whether what I say will happen to you or not." The next day, the Lord sent a wind that brought quail from the sea and left them fluttering near the camp, about a day's journey on both sides of the camp. It says that the people stayed up all that night and the next day gathering quail. Before I continue, I want to make something clear. The Israelites were wrong in complaining. However, God was still kind enough to answer their cries for meat. George Mueller, who saw over 50,000 answers to recorded prayer, said this: God is pleased continually to vary his mode of dealing with us, in order that we may not be tempted to trust in donors or in circumstances, but in him alone, and to keep our eyes fixed upon him. Intersecting life and faith. We tend to live in a scarcity mindset. For example, if someone has a piece of pie, it leaves less for the rest of us. God doesn't operate this way. He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. God created our entire world out of nothing. I don't think he has a hard time providing anything we may be lacking. In fact, Psalm 34:10 says, "The young lions lack and suffer hunger, but those who seek the Lord shall not lack any good thing." The Lord is able. His arm is not too short. What is impossible for man is possible with God. He lives in abundance. However, he wants us to come to him for our needs. He wants us to depend on him like a child does their parent. Why not take a moment to first acknowledge God's power, then confess sin, known or unknown, then humbly share your concerns with him. He already knows what we need, and he already knows what we're going to say before we speak a word. Psalm 139:4. Trust him. God always knows what he's doing, even if it seems impossible for us. Further reading: The Autobiography of George Mueller.
The Crosswalk Devotional is a production of Life Audio and Salem Media. If you liked what you heard today, please take a second to rate and review this podcast in your favorite podcast app so that more listeners like you can find the show. For more faith-filled, inspirational podcasts, visit us at lifeaudio.com.
This July 4th, from Angel Studios, the force behind His Only Son and The Chosen, comes an extraordinary true story of courage and redemption. Starring Jim Caviezel, the actor renowned for his unforgettable portrayal of Jesus in The Passion, and Academy Award winner Mira Sorvino. Inspired by remarkable acts of bravery, Sound of Freedom unveils the breathtaking true events of a dangerous mission to save young innocent lives. Sound of Freedom. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Go to angel.com/freedom for tickets. Only in theaters July 4th.